Attention, fellow Americans. Wake up and brace yourselves because what I'm about to share is nothing short of a reality check. For everyone watching this right now in the United States, your grocery store aisles are about to look a lot emptier, and it's happening sooner than you think. We're not just talking about a few specialty items or seasonal snacks here. We're talking about essential products that millions of you rely on daily. December is right around the corner, and with it comes a wave of shortages that will hit the very basics you keep in your pantry. Picture it. You're walking down those familiar aisles at Walmart, Kroger, or your local grocery store, reaching for that can of beans or bottle of olive oil, and it's just gone. Not just low on stock, completely wiped out. And if you think this is some kind of scare tactic or exaggerated warning, think again. This isn't speculation or some distant possibility. It's an imminent crisis that's closing in fast, and it's going to impact every household across the country. The fact is, we're facing a perfect storm of supply chain breakdowns, extreme weather events, and global market disruptions that the media barely touches on. They'll tell you inflation is cooling and the economy is stable, but those are just numbers on paper. Meanwhile, the real-life cost of food is climbing, and availability is shrinking. Basic everyday items that you've taken for granted are vanishing from shelves, and if you're not prepared, you're in for a harsh wake-up call. So buckle up because in this video we're covering 10 essential products that are on the brink of disappearing come December. Let's dive in. Number 1, canned black beans. First up is an item that might not be on everyone's radar, but for millions of families it's a pantry staple. Canned black beans. Black beans are packed with protein, fiber, and essential nutrients, making them a go-to for quick, nutritious meals. But here's the problem. The 2023 growing season has been devastating for bean farmers across the U.S. Unpredictable weather, from severe droughts in the west to unexpected freezes in the south, has wreaked havoc on bean yields. This year's harvest is down by nearly 30%, and it's not just black beans feeling the squeeze. The entire legume market is in trouble. We're not talking about a minor inconvenience here. Prices for black beans have already climbed by 20%, and December is expected to bring another jump, potentially hitting a 40% increase. That's if you can even find them on shelves. Brands like Bush's and Goya are struggling to keep up with demand as supplies dry up. So if black beans are a staple in your household, now's the time to stock up. Don't wait until you're left staring at empty shelves or paying double the usual price. Number 2, olive oil. The next product on the chopping block is one that's already seeing price hikes: olive oil. This is a big one, folks. Olive oil is an essential cooking ingredient for countless dishes, and it's about to become harder to find and much more expensive. Spain, which supplies nearly half of the world's olive oil, has been battered by relentless heat waves and drought, resulting in the worst olive harvest in decades. This crisis has already caused olive oil prices to skyrocket globally, with a 50% increase just this past year. In December, things could get even worse. U.S. distributors are facing import delays, and some shelves are already sparse. By next month, don't be surprised if you see your favorite brands, Bertolli, Pompeian, or Colavita, either missing or sporting an even heftier price tag. If olive oil is a regular in your kitchen, consider stocking up now. The reality is, once this shortage fully hits, olive oil might become a luxury that's out of reach for many households. Number 4, butter. Butter is a kitchen staple that most Americans can't live without, especially as we head into the holiday baking season. But come December, you may find yourself facing a grim reality: empty shelves and skyrocketing prices. Why? The U.S. dairy industry is grappling with a cascade of challenges that are driving butter production into a nosedive. Extreme heat waves over the summer led to reduced milk production across dairy farms, with cows producing less due to the stress of higher temperatures. And it's not just about the milk shortage. Rising feed costs, fuel expenses, and a shortage of processing labor are all compounding the issue, leaving the butter industry stretched thin. We're already seeing a 25% price increase in butter over the last 6 months, and the worst is yet to come. As December approaches and demand peaks for holiday cooking, prices are projected to surge by another 30%, if you can even find butter at all. Major brands like Land O'Lakes and Challenge are warning retailers about limited supplies, and some grocers are considering rationing. If you rely on butter for your cooking, baking, or even just as a spread, don't wait until it's too late. Stock up now or risk paying a small fortune, or worse, going without it entirely. Number 3, apples. Yes, you read that right. Apples, a seemingly abundant fruit and an American staple, are about to become much harder to find. The apple harvest in the U.S. has taken a brutal hit this year, with a 20% drop in production, particularly in states like Washington, which leads the country in apple growing. The reasons are severe. Record-breaking heat waves, unexpected frost, and relentless drought have all conspired to shrink yields and drive up costs for apple growers. And it's not just fresh apples that will be affected. You can expect a ripple effect impacting apple juice, applesauce, and even dried apple snacks. With fewer apples available, prices have already started to climb, and industry insiders predict an additional 20 to 25% spike as we approach December. You may also notice fewer varieties on shelves, as stores prioritize the most popular types like Gala and Honeycrisp. But even those could vanish quickly once holiday demand kicks in. So, if apples are a regular part of your meals, whether in snacks, salads, or desserts, don't sit back and assume they'll be there. Stock up while you can because apples, an everyday taken-for-granted item, are about to get scarce and expensive. Number 4, sugar. Here's a staple you'd never expect to run out. Sugar. That simple bag of sugar sitting in your pantry is about to become a lot harder to find and a lot more costly. A combination of poor weather and supply chain disruptions is pushing the U.S. sugar industry into crisis mode. Brazil and India, two of the world's top sugar producers, faced severe droughts and flooding this year, cutting global supply drastically. And with international demand soaring, the U.S. is feeling the pinch, as imports become pricier and less reliable. The sugar market is already seeing prices climb by 15 to 20%, and that's just the beginning. Industry experts are predicting a potential 30% increase as we head into December, with some grocers already rationing their supplies to keep up with holiday demand. If you're planning on baking or stocking up for your everyday sweetener needs, now's the time. By December, you might be looking at a significant price hike, or finding the shelves completely empty. Don't wait until your go-to sweetener becomes a luxury item. Number 5, frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables might seem like the ultimate convenience item that's always in stock, but December could change that in a big way. The reality is that frozen veggie production has been hit hard by a combination of extreme weather, labor shortages, and rising costs across the board. Many U.S. farms faced devastating droughts this past year, drastically reducing yields of essential vegetables like broccoli, carrots, and peas. On top of that, processing plants are dealing with workforce shortages, making it harder to keep up with demand as costs for cold storage continue to rise. We're already seeing a 10 to 15% jump in frozen vegetable prices, and as December approaches, that number could easily double. Big brands like Bird's Eye and Green Giant are struggling to maintain consistent stock levels, meaning some varieties could be completely unavailable. So if frozen veggies are part of your meal planning, or you rely on them for quick and nutritious side dishes, don't assume they'll be there when you need them. Stock up now because by the time December hits, finding frozen vegetables might feel like hunting for treasure, and paying dearly for it if you're lucky enough to spot them. Number 6, orange juice. Orange juice might be a breakfast staple, but come December, that carton in your fridge could be hard to replace. The U.S. orange industry is grappling with one of its toughest years on record, with Florida's citrus groves, responsible for the bulk of American orange production, devastated by hurricanes and a relentless disease called citrus greening. This double blow has slashed orange yields by nearly 40%, creating a massive shortfall that's pushing orange juice prices through the roof. Imports aren't coming to the rescue either, as Brazil, a top exporter, is dealing with its own production problems. The result? Orange juice prices have already surged by 30% this year, and December could bring another 20 to 25% increase, making it a premium item at the grocery store. Major brands like Tropicana and Simply Orange are feeling the squeeze, with some distributors already reporting sporadic shortages. If orange juice is a morning essential in your household, consider buying a few extra cartons now. When December hits, you might be facing prices you wouldn't believe, or an aisle with nothing but empty shelves. Number 7. Breakfast cereals. If breakfast cereals are a staple in your household, prepare for a shock. Popular cereals like cornflakes, oatmeal, and granola are all under pressure, thanks to shortages in core ingredients. The Midwest's severe weather has drastically cut corn and oat harvests, leading to higher prices for everything from corn-based cereals to oats. At the same time, transportation and packaging costs are rising, with cardboard and plastic supplies tightening globally. The ripple effect? Major brands like Kellogg's, General Mills, and Quaker are already raising prices, and they're warning of potential supply gaps as we move into December. Prices for cereal have crept up by 15 to 20% since the summer, but this is only the beginning. Industry analysts predict another 25 to 30% surge by the end of the year, and with demand peaking around the holiday season, it's entirely possible some popular cereals will be off the shelves. So, if you rely on cereal for an easy breakfast or snack, don't wait until the last minute. Stock up while you can, because those familiar boxes could soon be either sky-high in price or nowhere to be found. Number 8. Eggs. Eggs are one of the most versatile and essential ingredients in American kitchens, but come December, they might be on the endangered list. The U.S. egg industry is dealing with a combination of severe avian flu outbreaks and skyrocketing feed costs, leading to a major reduction in egg production nationwide. Tens of millions of birds have been culled to contain the virus, and with fewer hens producing, egg supplies are tightening fast. We're already seeing price hikes of 25%, but experts warn that as holiday baking ramps up, we could be looking at another 30 to 40% increase by December. Major brands like Eggland's Best are struggling to keep up, and some stores have already started rationing. If you rely on eggs for baking, breakfasts, or meal prep, you might want to grab a few cartons now, because come December, you could be facing a serious sticker shock, or even an empty shelf where the eggs used to be. Number 9. Bacon. Yes, folks, even bacon isn't safe from the coming shortage wave. The pork industry is under intense strain this year, with high feed prices, labor shortages, and disease outbreaks hitting pig farms across the U.S. The result? Fewer pigs going to market, and that means a sharp decrease in pork products like bacon. Prices for bacon have already jumped by nearly 20%, and experts predict that December could bring another 25% increase. With holiday demand rising, some stores may even run low on stock altogether. Major brands like Oscar Mayer and Hormel are already warning retailers of potential shortages as they struggle to keep up with demand. So, if bacon is a must-have in your household, whether it's for breakfast, BLTs, or holiday recipes, don't wait until it's gone. Stock up now, or you might be left paying a premium, or going without your favorite crispy strips altogether. Number 10. Canned tuna. Canned tuna may seem like a pantry staple you can always count on, but that's about to change. The U.S. tuna market is facing a perfect storm of issues, from dwindling fish stocks to rising operational costs for fishing vessels. Climate change and overfishing have led to a drastic reduction in tuna populations, particularly in the Pacific, where much of America's tuna supply comes from. Add in labor shortages at processing plants overseas and skyrocketing fuel costs, and you've got a recipe for scarcity. Prices have already spiked by 15% over the last quarter, but by December, we could see another 20 to 25% hike as suppliers struggle to keep up with demand. Brands like Starkist and Bumblebee are warning retailers about potential shortages, so if you rely on canned tuna for quick meals or emergency supplies, don't wait. Stock up now, because by next month, it could become a high-cost item, or disappear from shelves altogether. Thank you for watching.